Welcome to the Popish Plot. I'm Nate Bro.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Mike.
And we're continuing our February Saints that we are attempting to explain their story involving dude broiness because that was the randomly picked theme.
Bruh.
There's nothing random about it. last month was Girl Boss, so
now we got dude bros.
So to keep things equal and you know, even keeled and well based, you know, unbiased, we have to have the dude bros.
Mm-hmm. Going with a very early saint, Saint Minifish, also known as Polycarp, because you know, in dude bro, that's how you translate it.
I mean, I could totally see if he was. I could totally see if he was pledging a fraternity house. That would probably be his. That would probably be his pledge nickname.
Well, Jess is correct. It's impossible to look at Polycarp, and I have a brain immediately think many carp. For some reason, my brain automatically translates poly. Oh. That was the Greek that means many, but it doesn't translate carp. It just keeps that as carp. So I think his name is Many Carp.
That or he'd be Girlfish. Because he's poly.
If there were two L's, absolutely.
No, they're dude bros. They don't need the extra L.
Yeah, but I know what poly means.
Yes. All right. I do like the pictures.
Polysyllabic.
I do like the pictures. That's
Polyphonic.
Like 3 fish in a trench coat. Anyway, he was born in the year 69, and we are not making any dude bro comments on that age.
None are necessary.
Although it should be noted, I'm sorry, that there at least used to be, in the glorious state of Michigan, on I-75.
An exit 69.
Big Beaver Road.
Yep.
Honest to goodness.
But they decided to renumber the off-ramp instead of go and rename the street.
It's still Big Beaver Road. It's just no longer exit 69. I mean, now we carry on.
It was done back when Detroit was the French fur trading area, and they really needed beaver pelts for, you know, high fashion.
I'm not disputing that. It was just the glorious symmetry of the name and the number.
Yes. Anyway, he died, most people think, in 155 or 156 in Smyrna, the Roman Empire. According to some record keepers, it was 166 or 167.
Wow! In which case, he was almost 100 years old.
Mm-hmm.
His feast is February 23rd.
And it used to be January 26th.
Or 29th of Amshir?
Yes, the 29th of Amshir is its feast day in the Coptic Church, which is March 8th.
Because he's such an old saint, he's even remembered in the Coptic Church.
Yeah, for this month, I didn't list who follows either one of these because they're one of those ones where it's like...
Yeah. But
it's a lot.
but Polycarp is before all the schisms.
Yes.
You know, the Coptics haven't been in communion with us since Chalcedon. Yeah, that's before 500.
Yes.
But his attributes are a pallium and holding a book.
The book is usually the book he wrote.
He is the patron of earaches and dysentery.
And I joked earlier with the guys, but all I could find was earaches and dysentery. Not against, not for, suffer. So if you know a dude bro who's going to super sin and you want to stop him, perhaps you could pray to St. Polycarp to give him explosive diarrhea so he does not sin.
Boom.
Which technically is a morally good prayer.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we can cure dysentery. It's just bacteria for the most part nowadays.
Well, we're not wishing them upon him as a terrible thing. We're just wishing this upon him so that he does not sin.
It also would probably get him to, you know, clean his apartment because that's usually caused by poor hygiene.
At the very least, air it out.
But you can totally pray for a good thing, even if you know. Just don't be specific about how it goes about, you know, happening. You're not wishing a particular evil upon anyone. You're simply saying, look, I don't care what you have to do.
Lord, I would like this end, and I trust you to provide the means.
I'm just imagining a dude bro praying to St. Polycarp, being like, dude, Saint Fish Bro. My bro in Christ is going to do something stupid. If you could stop him, I know you're in charge of earaches and dysentery. Dealer's choice.
Do what you gotta do, bro. Do what you gotta do.
Anyway, he's known as a martyr, a bishop, a church father, one of the 3 chief Apostolic Church followers with Clement of Rome and Ignatius of Antioch.
Because he knew apostles.
Yes, he was a disciple of St. John the Apostle. He was thought to be ordained a bishop by St. John.
Laying on of hands.
He was a companion of Papias and wrote letters with Ignatius of Antioch and later, met up. So it was kind of like, much like St. Paul writing to different people he haven't met yet. Like, hey, let's send letters back and forth, and then they finally meet up, and they're like, wow, it's like we were best friends all along.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I've known you through your letters, and now we're finally
And then, of course, had a super metal way of getting murdered, which was to be burned at the stake.
And much like our early saints in January and in December, fire just... I want to know what fireproofing early saints used. They were so fireproof because, again...
Asbestos.
Had to be pierced with a spear because the fire just wasn't cutting it.
Or a dagger.
And this is an ancient piece of literature, the martyrdom of Polycarp. It's poetic, it's brutal, but it's beautiful.
Yes. He might have been killed either during Passover or Purim. As it was said, he was killed on the Great Sabbath. And, basing off... They're like... When we know he died, it seemed a little early for Passover that year or years, but maybe it was Purim because that was another high holy feast day.
I wish I had a noisemaker.
Yes.
Haman.
Yes, which also makes it very dude bro because the proper way to celebrate Purim in many modern branches.
Ripping drunk.
Literally, yes.
I'll be fair.
I don't know if keg stands are kosher, but...
I'll be honest. Almost everything I know about Purim comes from the old mockumentary For Your Consideration, where they're making a film, Home for Purim.
I mean, there's drinking, there's storytelling, you wear costumes, and you eat these tasty cookies that look like little hats.
What's not to love? Dude, bros will love this.
He was one of the most earliest Christian writers whose writing survived outside of those who were literally writing the Bible. And again, it was only one generation removed because he was a follower of those who literally wrote the Bible. He probably would have known from the writing style which John wrote, John 1 and 2 and 3 and Revelation.
Well, and... this is how we know that we can trust the letters of St. Ignatius of Antioch, which some of our separated brothers and sisters have tried to dismiss because they're too Catholic. Ignatius was trained by Polycarp. Polycarp was trained by John. Ignatius likely even knew John before the apostles' death. These guys weren't just making stuff up. They had the succession right from the beginning.
Yes, because they all lived... surprisingly long, given how almost everyone else was martyred. And even being murdered, he was martyred in his, late 80s? Maybe 90s, depending on exactly, what year we're going by.
But again, good precedent to this from 2 Maccabees, Eleazar. Am I at the end of a long life finally going to turn against God? No. Then they murder him.
Yes.
Because that guy was boss.
All right, so those are our...
Many fish.
Dude Bro Saints of February. Again, comment with things for March. Be like, I would like to have saints who drove snakes out of Ireland. the extensive list. And we were like, technically, Ireland didn't have saints before St. Patrick. It was a metaphor.
Or, better yet, it's a great miracle. I drove out all the snakes. There were no snakes. Boom!
No snakes.
Alex, I will take driving snakes out of Ireland for 200, please.
One last thing about Polycarp. There was a time about 10 years ago when all of the remaining parishes in Flint were being conglomerated together under a single pastor. I
mean, it is understandable when you can walk from one to the other.
Eventually they settled on the name the Catholic Community of Flint. But before that, the pastor, a very literate redemptorist, wanted the new combined parishes to be called St. Polycarp. The church of many fishes.
I mean, we are Catholic. There's all that. The fish
we are
on
mackerel
Friday.
snappers, absolutely.
Shirt out by a fisherman.
Well, really should learn one day what the second part of his name means in Greek, but
So until next time,
bro.
What?
No.
Oh, okay.
I thought
I thought maybe there's something I was missing.
Nah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Until next time, remember to live your faith.
Love your faith.
Share that love.